Order. This is the Community Preservation Committee revised regular CPC meeting agenda being held in the Don B. Griffin Room, Harwich Town Hall, 732 Main Street in Harwich, 6 p.m. on Thursday, January 12, 2023. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to speak? Hearing none, moving on. To inform everybody that the normal operation of taping, recording notification to the chair, if anybody attends to, the town will be tape recording this session. Can we get approval of the minutes for December 15th, 2022 and January 5th, 2023? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Moving on. Under new business, we're going to do a follow-up discussion with the Harwich Cemetery Administrator, Robin Kelly. Robin, would you identify yourself, please? And you have the floor.
Thank you. Robin Kelly, Cemetery Administrator. So I just want to do a couple little updates first. I received a letter from the DAR, and I just want to read it into record. She was supposed to come tonight, Tara, but she isn't able to. To the town of Harwich, I am writing to give full support of the Captain Joshua Gray, Jonathan Thatch chapter of the National Society Daughters of the American Revolution. To the Harwich Cemetery Commission Revolution and Civil War Memorial Project. The DAR was founded in 1890. It is a nonprofit, non-political, volunteer women's service organization dedicated to promoting patriotism, preserving American history, and securing America's future. Our chapter is supporting this project because it uniquely meets all three goals of the DAR's mission statement. The project will commemorate and memorialize the names of individuals who fought for America's independence and freedom for all. It will forever preserve and make available to the public historical records and names of historic American importance, and it will serve to educate the citizens of Harwich and beyond about the Revolution and the Civil War, everyday citizens who became heroes for this cause. America's 250th is once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and it is now happening. Celebrating the birth of our great nation is something we are all lucky to be a part of. Our chapter is grateful to the town of Harwich for this project. Our members of the chapter have worked with and will continue to work with members of the town of Harwich and have dedicated hundreds of hours over the past 3 years to this project. We are actively volunteering and dedicating even more in the future we believe in, and we believe without projects like this, history will be lost. Therefore, we are wholeheartedly endorsing the Harwich Cemetery Commission's Revolutionary and Civil War Memorial Project. Sincerely, Tara Baker, Regent. So she was going to come, but she couldn't make it tonight. But you wanted to know about both. We have voted at our commission meeting on Tuesday not to move forward with the North Harwich rail project, and we'll probably do it next year. We just pulled it away. We know that you guys have a lot of historic projects on the docket, and we just trying to make it a little bit easy on you guys because you have always been great to us. So another good thing that's happening is on Tuesday night, I'll be on the Board of Selectmen agenda to approve the gift account for the Veterans Park. So I will have my account numbers and I'll be able to get my donation letters. I'm also meeting with the Veterans place in Hyannis on Wednesday of next week. So this will allow us to send out our donation forms to all the veterans associations as well as local residents of Harwich and of Brewster. I'm also going to be speaking at the SAR-DAR meeting on January 21st, and I'll be bringing those letters with me as well. So the timeline of this project, it's going to be the 250th anniversary of the American Revolutionary War. If this article is approved by you guys, and then it goes to town meeting in July, it is a long process that goes out to bid, so I had reached out to Megan Eldridge to find out exactly how long the procurement process was going to take in order for us to have this memorial ready for the 250th. So if you don't mind, I'll read her email back to me. And I actually will give it to you. You guys can have it afterwards. So it says, to submit the pre-procurement forms, you would provide a scope of services and description of supplies we are looking for. The IFP is developed and is estimated is 1 to 2 weeks for this process to happen. Advertisement is required at least 2 weeks in the newspaper and on our website to combines, and then goods and services in the bulletin. Plan on 4 weeks in total for this advertisement time. Longer if the bidders would need more time to get the bid together. Bid opening is based on the newspaper and goods and services deadlines, usually at the end of the month, 4-week time frame. Bids are reviewed by you and I and are determined to be the most responsible bidder. We will then check the references, which takes about another week. Then we have the vendor under contract. We put the contracts on the agenda for the Board of Selectmen to approve in another week. Once we get all that done, we have to get signatures and then complete the post-procurement checklist, which provides another member to the Board of Selectmen describing the project, the recommendations, and approval of this contract. Then we award the contract with request, securities, performance bonds, and insurance certificates. Once we have that, then we give them a W-9 and a vendor and a PO, and then work can start. It's a long process, and I don't think people realize that's just to get the ball rolling. And then once that happens, then I would meet with the vendor. I would give them the list of all the names. He would put it together on whatever proof they have. Then I have to proofread all of the names, all the letterings, all the spellings. And then it would go back and forth between us if we had errors before this memorial could even begin to take place. Right now, I checked with several monument dealers. For an average memorial, it's 14 to 18-week lead time for a regular granite memorial. For a custom monument of this size, it's 6 to 8 months. So once the monument's then erected and made, then it has to be shipped here and installed in the cemetery, which could take another couple more weeks. So all in all, it's about at least 11 months from the time you receive the money till the actual monument is erected. So I have a copy of that if you your records. And then I just wanted you to know that we've been working a long time on this project. I worked with about 4 different people, and we have researched all of this information. It's very important for us to have this project move forward at this time, because we really want it ready for the 250th anniversary. So that's all I have to say, and I know you guys have a tough decisions ahead of you, because everyone's asking you for money in historic this year, it seems like. So I thank you for your time, and good luck, because you guys are going to need it.
Before you leave,
Okay.
Robin, is there any questions from any member of the board? Elizabeth?
Because I'm a moron, no. Is the 250th in 2025 or
2025.
2026?
2025.
Okay, thanks.
Kathy?
That was my question.
Okay.
I wanted the exact date.
Yeah.
I wanted the exact date of the 250.
Right. And I'll be coming and emailing you guys probably weekly when I get my donations, because I know, I don't know if you guys are making any decisions tonight, but as I receive monies in, I can send you guys up-to-date numbers so that you can have them. I'm expecting to get a lot of money between now and the end of the month. So if, I know it's going to be tough for you guys to make a decision, because I don't even know, do you guys even have your balances yet? Did you get them? Okay. So I'll try to get my numbers to you guys as soon as possible, but
That'd be great.
I've had a lot of people reaching out to me waiting for this, and I'm glad I'm on the Board of Selectmen to finally say yay. Thank you.
Okay, hold on for a minute, Robin.
Could you just email me that list? You don't have to give me your copy, you can just.
Oh, I get, no, it's all right.
Oh, okay. And I'll just make it.
Yeah, it's
Have
just,
it
you guys
handy.
probably need to know that for anybody else who has a large.
Right. Folks that aren't here.
Just forget about the rescission of
No, she already sent the thing in, we just need to do it, yeah.
Robin, just so you know, and I'm going to inform the board at the same time, we'll make our decision, we'll start voting next February 9th,
Okay,
so it's the second Thursday of the month next month,
okay, perfect.
so,
So I'll have some definite numbers before then.
all right.
But I'm going to be receiving probably donations almost all the way up to town meeting, so my number could change again, just so you know. but I'll keep you, I'll
More
keep.
money you get, the better
Right.
it is, so.
Exactly.
So this money we have now would be if we were the sole.
That is correct.
Great.
Any other questions from board members? Thank you very much for coming in. Okay. So, there's no follow-ups from any other applicants? Yes, there is. Did everybody get the email that was sent out from the health director?
Yeah.
It's pretty poignant, to the point. We're moving on. The next was, what else did we
There was
have?
more from Brooks Academy, wasn't
Yeah,
there?
Dave.
Oh,
Dave
the
Spence
windows.
Sent another email with, did everybody get that information?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead, Elizabeth.
I don't know if we should discuss it now or discuss when we're voting, but,
I was thinking the same thing.
yeah, I'm not entirely sure that $50,000 is a big enough saving for us to go against the architect's will, because it's a big project. And I think that, I think it's really better if we're spending all the money, let's just do it now and do it right.
I wasn't gonna open the door, but you have, so we will discuss it. I don't have a problem with that. Any other board member like to speak to what Elizabeth just said? No? Okay. All right. Shall we go into possible, all right, update of the CPC numbers? Again, that we will vote February 9th of next month. So, moving on,
So we should plan on a long night, on February 9th.
yes.
Could be quick.
It could be quick too, right? It's very true, Kathy.
Depends on how much money we
Okay, and
Go ahead, you've got
before you
the floor.
close that,
Yeah.
if we do get numbers prior to the meeting, enough time, will you have, who will you designate to?
If that happens, if that happens, then I will contact you and I will contact Mary. You guys will get together
Is
and
that okay?
create the motions.
So my recommendation is that we don't do that because then we're sounding like a subcommittee.
Of two?
Yes.
Split them?
Well, do you volunteer?
So,
No,
so
I
I
don't-
think,
If you volunteer and she
either,
volunteers, that's the
I
other.
think you can tell one of us and then one of us can ask for help. Is that-
Okay.
Mary?
Happy to, and then I'll ask for help.
So that's for help.
We don't want to have
Why do you
to,
torture me? Okay, moving on.
I don't want to run afoul of meeting postings.
Okay, fair enough. Updates. Discussion and possible voting of rescissions for open balances. Kathy, you have the floor.
Okay. It came to our attention when we sent our rescissions from the last 6 months to finance, that a couple mistakes were made. So we need to amend, they were all from the September 8th, 2022 meeting. So we need to amend 3 of the rescissions. So if it's okay with everybody, I'll just take them one at a time, okay? The first one was from Town Meeting 2020, Article number 32, the Pine Grove Cemetery funding. The rescission was originally 32,100. We need to change it to 33,000. There was an error in the count.
Do we know what the votes were on that? Who voted it and who
What was
seconded it?
what was the day that we did these?
Oh, she would have it, I have it here too,
I don't
actually.
think it matters.
We don't have to back up a
I
vote?
don't think
and
so,
then
because
revote it?
we're voting as a board to revote.
Yeah.
But we're
If-
making,
To amend.
are amending the minutes.
Oh, the minutes wrong?
Yeah, because we made
Yeah,
a,
because
we
we
made a vote.
and then it
on the
goes in the-
minutes.
No, no, no.
Wrong.
No, it's not the minute.
So if we had the wrong amount in a motion, then we need to redo the motion.
Right.
Okay,
And correct the motion.
okay, so we're not amending.
Amending the minutes is if we had,
If there had been a typo
if there was a
and we
typo.
went
Okay.
You know,
back.
we had,
So what are we gonna call this?
so we're gonna, so how did we schedule it on our
Where?
agenda? Let me see.
Discussion and possible voting on rescinding.
Rescinded open
open
balances of
balances.
CPC projects.
So
Okay,
That's pretty broad.
we,
it is, but,
Okay.
so we're
you're just-
amending our prior vote is what we're doing.
so I think so.
If-
I think-
So Kathy made the original motion, and,
Seconded by
all right, so let's just
Well, that's
clean it, just back it out and start again, please. So Kathy,
Okay, well, I just want to
Kathy's making a motion to
change.
change the rescission that was voted on the September blah, blah, blah meeting.
Okay, September 8th, 2022 meeting
okay,
for,
hold on to that.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
I gotta finish.
She's
the-
gotta
But
finish
she's
the
got to
motion.
finish the
I thought that was the
motion.
motion.
No,
No.
I've gotta say that it was from town meeting 2020.
Okay,
Article
all
number
right,
32,
gotcha, yeah.
Twine Grown Cemetery. We need to change the rescinded amount from 32,100 to 33,000 due to an accounting error.
So,
Is-
I mean, okay.
We're
Is there-
gaining $900.
Is
So
there a
second.
second?
Second, right.
Okay,
We could
discussion.
also just rescind an additional $900.
Yeah, I don't think that the finance department wants that, because they sent this
Yeah.
stuff back to
Okay.
us.
So, there's a second on the floor, is discussion. No discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Done.
Okay, so moving on.
Yes.
Am I
So
doing
you
it again?
move that
Moving that,
we amend no, what did I say?
we're changing,
That we're changing the rescission
rescission.
vote
okay, from,
on the September 8th, 20,
September 8th, 2022 meeting. This was with regards to Town Meeting 2021, Article number 29, in parentheses, the third one, because that was when they were grouped together. This is the depot crossing lights. And that change, and I'll explain it when we discussion, is going to be from 15,000 to 13,480.
Okay, that's the
Second.
motion on the floor.
That's the motion.
Is
Second.
the
there a
second.
number again.
13,480.
And Mary seconded it.
Okay, and I'll,
Hold
can
on.
I, okay.
I got you. I just want to give her a chance to catch up. I'll set you. All right, now, discussion. Go ahead,
I just
Kathy.
want to explain, okay? So as you know, the request was originally for 15,000, and they ended up getting a grant that covered it. But the finance department didn't know about the grant, and they had already executed, a bill. And it was in the next fiscal year, so they couldn't backtrack. So therefore, we have to deduct this amount from their rescission.
Gotcha. Could they still use the grant on a subsequent crossing light? Or did they have to
They
return
used
the
the whole
grant?
thing, it was combined crossing lights or something, so they used it all.
Okay, so, where are we? We have a motion on the floor.
Yep.
We have a
Second.
second. We had discussion. We're ready for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to change
Yep,
the,
rescission vote.
decision vote from September 8th, 2022 regarding town meeting warrant article number 21, or town meeting 2021, Article 29, section Old Colony Rail Trail marker. We rescinded $340. That is going to be changed to $1,000.
Oh.
Okay,
So
so
we
there's a
rescinded the whole-
motion on the floor.
Second
There's a second.
question.
Discussion. Go ahead, Mary.
So they were sending the whole amount because the town paid for the,
Out of, Public Works,
okay,
by
That makes-
mistake. So,
okay. And it's in a prior fiscal year, so there's nothing they
Yes.
can do about,
yes, they suggested we do this.
okay.
Any more discussion? We'll call for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That was it.
That's it.
Beautiful.
Let me circle back here for one moment, please. The one thing I forgot to ask, did everybody get the email from the fire department?
Another one?
Yes,
No,
I didn't
The
see
new
that.
quote.
the new quote.
Yeah.
that was last week, right?
Well, just FYI, everything was resent
Okay,
today.
Okay.
The one
Just
about
in
the,
case
the
somebody didn't
brick,
get some.
right.
so everybody got the new quote?
I'm sorry.
No?
I didn't see,
All right.
I didn't see an email today, but that, I wasn't looking at email today, so.
All right, so, moving on.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
So, do we want to go over any of the projects while we're here? Because if we're not going to, it's going to be a short minute. So, we go through each one again until we hit to the one that you want to discuss? Just in case? Go ahead, Kelly, you have the floor.
We didn't go over our 14 last week. We held it
Oh,
for this.
scenic-
It's gonna quit.
That's right.
So we can talk about that today.
So we can talk
Yes,
about
we
that
can.
since
All
John's
right,
not
so-
here.
Let me find it.
14.
I gotta make sure, okay. R14 Skinnequit Pond remediation project, Harwich Natural Resources request for $92,000. All right, I'm gonna open it up to members of the board. You've got the floor, Kelly.
Great. So I see how this fits into, considering that we funded a alum treatment at Hinkley Pond a few years ago. I see how it's similar, but my concern, as I saw at the video, is that public access for this being a recreation project seems pretty minimal, so I'm a bit concerned with that. And wondering really what the merit is for why it's a recreation project if it's so minimal.
Okay. Kathy, go ahead.
Okay, well, I wouldn't consider it a recreation project. I would consider it a project that comes under that particular category, but it's really recreation and everything else that doesn't fit into another
Okay.
category. It is true, there is really no perceived public access. There is like a 3 to 4 foot piece of land. So when they refer to, they really shouldn't even bother with the public access part. Because I don't think it plays in here. But I do think, I would like to say that I think that this particular group has done their due diligence over the years. They've put time, energy, and resources, lots of resources, into trying to solve this problem themselves. And I do think, since it is one of the state's great ponds, and that it has been proven so far with Long Pond and Hinkley's Pond that alum does work, I think it's a small amount of money relative to other things. I think because this group has done their due diligence, that this might be a solution for them. And I don't have a problem with the lack of public access per se for this.
That helps to alleviate my concern, that clarification of what this falls under, because I do agree that if this is more focused on the ecological support, then I do think this project has merit,
Well, it definitely helps the watershed.
right?
Mary?
And I guess that's how I looked at it too. I was a little kind of surprised it was characterized as an R, as a recreation. I almost thought of it more like open space than anything else.
Exactly.
Which it's really not open space either, but it's still land conservation and land protection, so, and I think just historically, I think when they first came to us for Hinkley's Pond, that was a big ask that year, and it was an uphill battle, and I think the public access was kind of thrown in to sweeten the deal almost, to try and to kind of make it more palatable to
Third time is a charm.
the board, right? So, you know, I don't think it's necessary here. You know, it'd be nice if all Great Ponds had public access, but that's probably never gonna happen on that one. But,
All set, Mary?
all set.
Thank you. Elizabeth?
The only question I have, due to the new DEP regulations, if this is in a watershed, then it's going to have to be handled differently, I think, because we have to have watershed plans.
No, I don't think so. I think you're worrying about I think it's the fact that they're doing an alum treatment on the pond has everything to do with trying to trap the phosphorus and
Right.
not the phosphorus, the
nitrogen.
whatever, the nitrogen. I don't think that's necessarily directly going to affect the whole septic
Yeah,
situation.
I just wanted to put that out there. And I do agree with Mary that depending on the numbers, I think if we needed to, we could move this to open space because it doesn't fit either one quite, but it's doing the same thing as the Bell's Neck project, which is protecting the environment and a habitat. So I think wouldn't that give us a little wiggle room if we needed to?
Well, let me
It's a
suggest this.
weird one.
Let me suggest this to you. This is coming out of, this is, if it's recreation, that's the largest pool of money to draw on.
Okay.
Recreation isn't,
not really
recreation
the
isn't a
type.
pool.
Yeah.
Recreation isn't a pool. It's unrestricted.
It's unrestricted undesignated fund, but it's still a larger, that's where recreation draws from.
Right.
Correct.
Doesn't draw from
Because
any
you
of
don't
the other
have,
three
because
funds.
recreation doesn't have a bucket.
And that's, I don't have to say any more than
Got it.
that. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Was,
Bob?
just out of curiosity,
Hinckley's came out of undesignated, I'm pretty sure.
did it, that was
Yes.
my question.
Pretty sure.
I didn't remember.
It wasn't an open space
Okay.
ask, I don't believe.
That
Was
was
the
it.
was the public access maybe?
No, that
No.
came
Was
out
it-
of.
No, it came out of recreation too,
Yeah.
okay. Just don't remember.
That was
Robert,
it.
you have the floor.
My concern is that, is particularly, with the WASH group who has done a lot of work and they paid for the original study and all that. But are they doing anything themselves to mitigate their property so that it, won't just return, still loading a lot of nitrogen into it? I mean, I know there's some lawns there and things like that. Is there any commitment on the neighborhood not to further damage the pond?
Well, I will answer that as far as the Hinkley Pond situation. There was, for that,
Okay.
so,
Yeah. Hinckley's is a lot less populated at the pond level, though, I think.
it's kind of out of our purview.
Okay. Okay.
Kathy?
I would, I don't know the answer to that, Bob, but I would guess, since these people have been so committed to trying to alleviate this problem, that they have band together somewhat to try to take care of that issue themselves, I would hope,
Yeah.
so I would err on the side of that they have done something to mitigate and will continue to do so. Since they've almost dumped, like, did she say close to $100,000?
Yeah. No, I do think that the
That's
project is, it's pretty small money for the benefit that that pond will get immediately as far as wildlife is concerned.
And I'm not sure, maybe some of the board members would know, is there an offset, anything to do with clean water in the town? Or how the town goes about the sewering process? Is there any credit, debit or credit for that? Because we're taking care of a particular pond?
That's
thought
a
there was
high-level
some
CWMP question that
Yeah.
I don't think,
I
Any
thought
of us
there
at
was
the
some
table are
level-
ready to-
There was a discussion with Hinckley's at one point about that, so, and it was positive.
but that may have been based on the stages back then, I don't know.
Okay,
I think it's,
just asking the
yeah.
question.
I
Are you
don't know.
saying treating town waters?
Mhm. That's all part of the watershed.
I just wanna make sure that I had that you were saying town waters.
I mean,
Or,
could
in
I,
this case, state.
yeah, I just want to quote something that they said, that there is no watershed technique that will rehabilitate Skinnequit Pond. Reducing inputs to the pond from the watershed is always a good idea, but the pond is like a boat that has been leaky for a long time. We can patch the leaks, but the boat is still full of water and won't be usable until the water is removed. No amount of watershed management will improve the condition of Skinnequit Pond now. The internal load must be addressed.
No, that says it all.
So dredging or alum treatment or something, some proactive, major, larger scale project is what it sounds like.
Now, we can certainly send a question to the group and ask them about this, future mitigation, what they're doing, what their plans are. 'Cause we're not voting until February.
Yeah,
Robin, is that your concern?
yeah, I just want to see if they're doing anything in the future to prevent, once it's cleaned up,
Yeah?
then let's not,
Yeah.
see if there's anything that they have plans to mitigate it.
Okay. Do you have that information? You sent them an email, a note. Okay, that takes, anything on that? Thank you for grabbing hold of that, and appreciate it. Does anybody want to discuss anything else on the, as far as the applications are concerned? And if not, we've gone through just about everything. So, the next meeting of the CPC is going to be Thursday, February 9th, I believe.
Yes?
That's the correct date, at 6 o'clock. So, what? Oh, last but not least, I received this today. That's why it's not on the agenda. Community Preservation Coalition. It's dated January 4th, 2023. They're asking for the annual membership dues. And those are, that number is $4,350. So.
I make a
could
motion to fund the coalition dues
Second.
Out of administration,
out of
administrative,
administrative expenses fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion. Kelly, do you know why we're doing this?
No, I would love an explanation. I know that we need to do it.
Robert, how about the explanation?
Oh, no, I think I'll pass. I'll let-
Yeah,
You work with them all
We
the
belong
time.
to a state organization that basically provides lobbying for the state funds that we receive and answers all kinds of technical questions for all the communities that participate in the Community Preservation Act.
Great, thank you.
And they assign a number to each community. Okay, so there's a motion and a second, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's done.
can, before we
Go ahead.
go further, just kind of thinking towards us making decisions, do we, I know we don't have numbers yet, we haven't really spent a lot of our administrative funds from prior years, have we? We didn't have a lot of administrative expenses this year,
Are
Did
you
we?
talking this past year?
this past year.
So in May, can I speak?
Go ahead.
In May, we funded 60,000 in admin expenses because we thought we were gonna have more legal
Right,
type expenses. We have not really, that number has not gone down much. And we also have some admin funds from a couple other
Accounts.
accounts that should be zeroed out, and we're
So
looking into that.
I seem to recall us putting admin funds in specifically for one of the HCT projects.
No, that was, yes, and
you-
we did, we did.
We did use
We
it,
funded
but-
like, I think I forget the exact wordage, but we did something like up to $12,000 or something, but I think
And
like
we did a-
7,500 was spent out of that.
Okay, and we did a separate
And
admin.
that was for the preparing of the conservation restriction, and also for, the work that the compact did
Yep.
in, preparing the land grant, the LAND
Okay,
grant.
okay, I
Which, as
remember-
you'll recall, we did get.
We did get the
And
money
so we'll
back.
be getting $400,000 back into
Right.
the open space
Right.
bucket as of July 1.
So, I just wanted to talk about the administrative account. When we look at the numbers, I would think we should, again, fund another $50,000 to $60,000 into it, just in case situations like that are coming up, that we have it available. Or if you think it's too much, that's fine, but I do think we should fund administrative fees every year, at least a portion, and I don't think that it's, I don't know what the number is, I'm just looking for.
Go ahead, Kathy.
In the last couple years, they've referred to it as operating expenses rather than admin expenses for some reason. I don't know why, but
Okay.
it's the same thing. And I think that if we get a number, from finance as to what we actually
in it.
have there, we can,
Have a better
we can have a
sense.
better idea of how much to fund.
Because that's our legal fees, right?
That's true.
That's Jan, that's,
Yeah, and it's also if something comes before us that needs a survey,
right,
an appraisal, we can do that. Now,
Those all-
remember, the Judah Eldridge thing came out of something else. It came out of the different,
I do remember
that
that.
special town meeting admin expense thing,
I do remember that,
for up to 30,000, and there was 50,000 in there,
okay.
so.
Rob?
So, and that's a rolling amount that keeps rolling forward if we don't spend it?
Yes.
Does it ever expire, or are we just,
No, I don't think it does.
Let's take a timeout on that.
okay,
Please.
All right,
okay? It's a rolling
more to
amount.
come.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, is there anything other than admin ones? to talk
Sorry.
about tonight? Okay, we're done. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second,
All those in favor?
aye.
Last week was
Thank you very